Many modern Westerns rely on characters delivering heavy, unnatural exposition to explain their backstories. The Ballad of the Black Duster script offers a strict alternative, serving as a masterclass in silent visual storytelling. The writer faces a specific challenge right away. How do you show a strict company man turning into an outlaw mentor with ever letting him explain his motives aloud? The script starts by building an auditory and visual cage. Act 1 places our protagonist, J.C. Black, in an imposing telegraph office at night. The audio directions call for a sputtering oil lamp, while the visuals highlight a steel-nibbed pen scratching vellum. The setting feels rigid, ordered, and entirely constrained by bureaucracy. The writer then forces a hard pivot away from that static office. Act 2 drops us into the dim, visceral light of a livery barn. Instead of precise penmanship, we see a close-up of a boy named Spud, his bloody fingers struggling to mend a split boot with a dull fishhook and coarse hemp string. Black steps out of the shadows. He doesn't offer a single word of comfort or explanation. Instead, the script gives a precise blocking instruction. Black pulls out his heavy harness maker's roll and physically guides the boy's hands through a professional stitch. That quiet, physical action defines exactly who these two characters are to each other. A meticulous, rigid man is compelled to perform a precise intervention to save a wounded kid. The writer establishes an entire paternal dynamic without writing a single line of backstory. This timeline maps J.C. Black's descent into vigilantism through physical interactions with 3 distinct objects. First, after Spud mentions a specific man, Black tears up a Washington telegram. Second, shifting his arc, Black hands a firearm to Spud, emphasizing duty over power. The script specifies exactly what that tool should be. It calls for a lightweight .32-20 revolver. Chambered for a smaller frame, it's a practical, deliberate choice intended for a child's hands. The final triggering event occurs in a seamstress's workshop. Doña Beatrice slides a gold-plated pocket watch across the workbench. This object prompts Black to destroy his latest administrative reprimand, this time flashing a razor smile. First, destroying paper, handing over a gun, receiving a watch. By strictly mandating these prop interactions, the writer externalizes Black's complete departure from the administrative system. We see his rebellion. We don't have to hear him announce it. When violence finally erupts in Santa Fe, the writer uses auditory chaos to set the stage. The script directions for the shootout in the deputy marshal's office explicitly demand heavy boot thuds and a deafening gunfire report. But the moment the confrontation ends, that massive soundscape completely drops out. The script replaces the roaring guns with a wet, strangled gasp and silence broken only by quiet breathing. The camera directions mirror this brutal sensory contraction. The scene cuts from a wide shot of a collapsing body to an extreme close-up of Spud staring at the floor, tear tracks cutting through the dust on his face. Leaving the law behind entirely, the story moves across the Rio Grande. The camera drops to a low angle, crawling on bellies through limestone ridges toward the Hacienda de la Cruz to initiate the rescue mission. To build tension under the desert stars, the writer isolates one highly specific sound, the metallic rattle of Winchester clearing leather. By severely restricting the audience's sensory input to those isolated mechanical clicks and tight emotional close-ups, the script bypasses usual action movie tropes. The viewer experiences the suffocating trauma of frontier justice right alongside the characters. The story skips ahead to an epilogue set in 1899. The narrative focus shifts entirely away from Black, landing squarely on the adult version of Spud Higgins. The writer confirms his transformation through strict wardrobe notes. Spud is now wearing a crisp tailored duster, and pinned to his chest is a polished tin star. The boy who struggled to stitch a boot is now a deputy marshal reviewing warrants. 2 final visual callbacks rest in his office. A heavy Spanish silver dollar engraved with a lone oak tree sits beside his inkwell, and a framed photograph of J.C. Black and Mary hangs on the wall. The script proves its ultimate thematic point right here. It visually demonstrates that Black built a lasting replacement, utilizing his own trauma and mentorship to forge a bleeding boy into an enduring symbol of the law.